Subject name is computer networks. It is a combination of two words, computer and networks. We all know what is a computer. And the second word is the network. Network means whenever you are adding more than one device, it becomes the network. So whenever we are connect more than one system, it is called a network. And the network of computers is known as the computer network. We all know as in our computer labs, we have the number of systems are there. They are connected with each other. This is a computer network. And what is the basic functionality or the basic idea behind the computer network is whenever we make a network, the basic idea is all the data that are available on the different systems that is accessible from any one of the system. We can access the data from any system that is a part of that computer network. So today we start with our first lecture. Now I'm going to share the screen. Okay, your subject name is advanced computer networking, and the topic is introduction about the subject and the basic concepts of the computer networking. Let's start with the first slide. First we discuss the objectives. Objectives means after going through this subject, the student will able to do, or what will you get after you complete the syllabus of this subject. Understand the concept of computer networking. What is computer networking, how it is implemented, what are the different features of computer networking. Second, understand the different protocols. What are the different protocols, what is a protocol, why we use protocols, and what are the different protocols that are used in the networking. Learn the concept of network routing through the algorithms. We come to know about the routing algorithms. We all know what is routing algorithms. Whenever any data is transferred from a single system to the other system, the packets they can follow a particular path, and that path is decided by the routing algorithms. We will discuss these concepts briefly in the later on. Learn and understand the internet protocols and network security. What are the different internet protocols and what is network security? How we provide the security to our network. Understand the concept of ad hoc network. We have the two different type of networks, the permanent networks and the ad hoc networks. Why we create the ad hoc networks? What are the advantages of the ad hoc networks? And why we use the ad hoc networks? In the last, learn and understand the wireless communication systems. What do you mean by the wireless communication systems? How they implemented, how they work, and why we use the wireless communication systems over the wired system, or what are the differences between the wireless and the wired system. So these are the main topics which will you get whenever you complete the complete syllabus of this subject. So let's start with the first one. What is computer network? A computer network is a group of computers that uses a set of communication protocols over a digital interconnection for the purpose of sharing resources located on or provided by the network nodes. So what is the basic idea behind the computer network is whenever we are going to make a computer network, the basic idea is to share the resources that are associated with the different systems, that all the systems that are the part of the network, that all the resources can be shared by any one of the system that is the part of that network. Means suppose if we have a network of 10 systems, different resources that are associated with the 10 systems, and the system names are S1 to S10. Now we are able to access all the resources that are available on all the systems from any one of the systems. Suppose I am working on the system number 5. Now I am able to access all the resources, all the data that is available on rest of the systems that are the part of that computer network. Clear? Now the next is the uses of computer networks. Computer networks have become invaluable to the organizations as well as individuals. Some of its main uses are as follows. Nowadays, the computer network is very popular in the organizations or in the individual ones. Individual ones means the private offices and the bigger organizations. We have the number of features of computer networks are there. Some of them are illustrated here. The first one is information and resource sharing. As we discussed earlier, what do you mean by the information and resource sharing means? Now we are able to share the information that is available on the systems, or we are able to share the resources. The best is to take the example of your computer system lab. Suppose we have the 30 systems in our lab. They are in the connected mode, they are in the networked mode, they are in the sharing mode. What will happen? Suppose you are able to access all the 30 systems only from the single system, because they all are in the network. All the resources that are associated with all the 30 systems, we can access all the resources from any one of the system. That is the part of that networked area. Second, retrieve a remote information. We can easily retrieve or fetch the remote information. Remote information means the information that is available on the remote side. What it means, I am working on the system number 1, but I am also available to access all the information that is available on the different systems. Either they are placed on the same area or they are placed on the different area. If the systems are in the networking form, every information is available. Either they are at the remote side, but from any one system, if I am logging from that particular system, I am able to access all the data. Clear? Third, speedy interpersonal communications. The interpersonal communications can be speed up. How they can be speed up? Because the internal communication can be done between the inter-networking areas. If the systems are in the networked form, we can simply communicate with each and every person that are using that particular system, and that system is the part of that network. For example, you can take the example of your WhatsApp groups. So suppose your class having a group name is MCA third. What it means, if I am sending a single message, that single message is available for all the participants of that particular group. If someone from your side sending a single message on that group, that particular message is available to all the participants. Compare it with the single communication. If the single communication is there, point to point communication is there, what will be happen? If we are the 20 participants in a single group, what will happen? We have to send the 20 different messages to the 20 different people. Why we create the groups? We are creating that groups because to overcome these problems, to overcome the time wasted, we simply make a group, send a single message, and that message is available to everyone. Clear? Next, the e-commerce. It is a common example, and a number of students are using the e-commerce. E-commerce means the online business. Online business or online, you are using the Flipkart, the Amazon, that all are available on the internet. Next, highly reliable systems. These systems are highly reliable because they are interconnected with each other. Suppose if one system is not working in the network, rest of the system, they are continuing their working. We can access the data from rest of the systems. That's why they are highly reliable systems. Next is cost effective systems. Why they are cost effective? Because whenever you make a network of the computer systems, now we don't need to make any different systems available on that particular area, because we make a small network, and with the help of that network, each and every information is available for every person who are using these systems. Which systems? That are the part of that network. Last is VoIP, that is voice over internet protocol. You can make the calls on the WhatsApp or on the Facebook. They are how the calls can be made. The calls can be made with the help of internet protocols. Means your voice is converted or transferred from one end to the other end with the help of internet protocols. And how the internet protocols can be working? If the word of internet is there, What it means, a network is also there, because on the internet we all are communicating on the single side, that is similar to the network. What will happen in the network? If we are in the network, we are working together. Either we are working in a same area, or we are working in a different area. So these are the number of uses of the computer network, some basic uses. Clear? Now the next is the goals of computer networks. You can say the goals or the objectives. Whenever we are going to make anything, first thing that comes in our mind is, what is the objective of this, or why we are going to do for a computer network. Suppose we are going to make a network, but why we are going to make a network? Because we have some issues. To resolve these issues, we are going to make a computer network, and these issues are the objectives, or you can say the goals of the computer networks. The first is resource sharing. As we discussed earlier, what is the resource sharing? We can share the resources, all the resources that are available on that particular network. Secondly, high reliability. All the systems, they are highly reliable, that are the part of that particular network. Third, IPC is inter-process communication. What it means, the internally how we can communicate with each other. If we are in the network, we are working on the different processes, that processes are working on the different ports of the computer system. And whenever a communication is done between process to process, but particular process, they are working on the different port numbers, and these port numbers, they are reliable. How they are reliable? When we are in the computer network, the systems, they all are connected with each other, the IPC can be executed very easily. IPC means inter process communication, how the internally the process can be communicated. I just give you the one example. Suppose we have a computer network. I'm running a file on my system, and that file requires the value of XY, and that value of XY is reside in the system number 10. But we are in the networking model. I simply access the file that is available on the system number 10. So what will be happen? I can able to fetch the value of XY from the system number 10 to the system number 1 on which I am working. That's why it is called the flexible access and the high reliability. Flexible access means we can easily flexibly access any one of the system that is available on the network. The last one is the improved performance. How the performance can be improved? Whenever we are working together, automatically the performance can be improved. Clear? So this is all about the goals of computer networks. Okay, the next concept is computer network architecture. What is the architecture of computer network? Architecture means the physical appearance of that particular network. So the computer network architecture is a design in which all the computers are organized in a computer network. The architecture defines how computers must communicate with each other to obtain maximum benefits from a computer network, such as better response time, security, scalability, transfer data rate, connectivity, etc. So what it means, what the computer network architecture means, how physically the systems, they are communicating with each other, and why they are communicating each other, to achieve the different targets. And these targets are to better the response time, security, data transfer rate, connectivity, and scalability. Clear? So we have the two different models of the architecture that we are going to be used. There are two most popular computer network architectures are used. The first one is peer-to-peer network, and second one is client-server network. We have the number of architectures are there, but we have the two most powerful, or you can say the most popular architectures are peer-to-peer and client-server network. The first one is peer-to-peer network, or you can say a point-to-point network. In a peer-to-peer network, each computer acts as its client and a server. Every computer is a client as well as a server. It can perform both request and response. Request and response means whenever, suppose we have a system A, System A is client as well as server. Whenever a system A sends the request for something to other system, then it become a client. Whenever a other system sends a request to the system number A for something, then it becomes a server. So it is a client as well as a server. A peer-to-peer network has no dedicated servers. It cannot require any servers because each and every system, it is also a client and also perform as a server. But all the computer act as a server for the data stored in them. Each and every computer, they have the different applications are there, and they also become the client as well as they becomes the server. Peer-to-peer network is a network to which all computers are used the same resources and rights as other computers. They all are same in nature. In the case of peer-to-peer network, they all are having a data. They all become a client. They all become a server. That depends upon the situation. It's network designed primarily for the small local area. In which form we are using peer-to-peer? Whenever we are going to cover the small area. Small area means when the number of systems are less and we are going to make a network, sorry, then we go for peer-to-peer network. Clear? Now, the following figure depicts a peer-to-peer network with each computer network acting as both client as well as server. We have shown in the diagram. Look at here. We have the 4 different systems. The resources are shared among equals in a peer-to-peer network. So what will be happen? We have the 4 different systems. They are connected with each other. They all the 4 systems, they act as a server as well as client. As we discussed earlier, suppose whenever a system sends some data, it becomes the client because it required some data. Whenever someone sends request towards that system, then it becomes the server. At that case, it responds with some data, so it becomes the server. That's why in this case, peer-to-peer, each and every system is a client as well as is a server. Clear? Next, the second architecture is the client server network. In a client server network, one central computer acts as a hub that is known as a server, and all other computers are known as a client. A client server network has a dedicated server providers. All shared data is stored in the server, which is shared with the client computers. When the client computer makes a request, the server is responsible for managing all data such as files, directories, printers, etc. All clients connect via a server. So now we have the different concept, that is a client and server. We have the number of clients and a single server is there. Each and every data that is shared among the clients that can be stored at the server side. All the data can be stored at the server side. If anyone requires any data, it sends the request to the server. Server takes the request and respond with the response. This can be happened in the case of client and server. The following figure depicts a client server network. Now we have a single server over there. Look at here. The server is there. Also, it shows like a database. Why the database? Because it is dealing with the number of files, number of directories, and each and everything. Then we have the number of clients over there. They are the different clients. Whenever any client want any information, they directly sends the request to the server, and the clients can be communicate with each other only with the help of server. This is a client server model. Clear? So this is all about the client server model.